1 has been changed to a non-published number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, August 11th, 2008.
All right. This is Jay Scott.
This is Trent Lackey.
Oh my gosh, it's Trent Lackey. Where'd you come from?
What?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Well, Chuck's
Good
been
to have
keeping
myself back. That didn't make any sense.
I
haven't really been home.
Chuck's been keeping the saddle warm for you.
Yeah, you know, I see there's a giant hole in the split screen. Are you responsible for that, Mr. Browder?
Yeah, I chewed a big hole in it, man.
He got bored, started eating it.
It was rough around here.
He was chewing on his arm, but then he chewed it off, so had to go to something else.
My gosh. I haven't heard that theme song in forever. I love that piano and that guitar and that bass. Bass. Bass fest.
Yeah, we're very intellectual, aren't we?
Yeah.
Kill the music.
No, let's just play it for the next hour. We're just gonna talk over the music for the next hour. Come on, man. Why don't we?
I don't know if I can deal with that.
No, you know what? We need to play. What's it called? Bonfire, and just put it on loop behind us. You know, see which one of us cracks first. You know.
Well, tonight we have us, and
which is really
always a good thing.
Yeah.
And we also have Jason Offutt coming back, the author of Haunted Missouri, and he's got some good news to tell us too.
Cool. And I have a couple of Chihuahua calendars, 2007 and 2008.
Oh,
it's really got nothing to do with anything. It's just there happen to be Chihuahuas with chili peppers and a bright yellow fiesta-style layout. Anyway, what to talk about? Olympics? War?
Let's talk about war because Trent, you're our Soviet correspondent for all means. Tell us about the situation here. First of all, for those of us that don't know, as Chuck was saying earlier, what was that, Chuck?
What?
About Georgia?
It's about oil.
A lot of oil.
No, I know that. No, I meant that it's no. We're not talking about Atlanta here, folks.
Oh yeah.
For those of you that don't know, it's a country.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's the birthplace of Joseph Stalin. Actually. He was born in the town of Guri, in which case the Russians have now invaded, if I remember correctly. But anyway...
don't they wear the little uniforms there, like the boots that come up to the knees, and that's traditional wear for them or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a Caucasus region country, so, I mean, there are a lot of, cultural things like that, They're historically known as a very fierce mountain-ranging people, much like the Chechens and the... Armenians for somewhat. But anyway. Long story short, basically South Ossetia broke away, from my understanding. I'm no expert here. I just read a lot about it. And it was a couple of years back, and so Russians, there was a separate peace accord. It wasn't officially, breaking away from the country of Georgia, but it was a conflict there prior to, and Russian peacekeepers have moved in to sort of keep the peace. Now, the other thing about South Ossetia is that they would much rather prefer to either autonomy or to be reintegrated back into Russia. They're very pro-Russian, and the thing is with Georgia, at least at this point, is very pro-Western. So there's the conflict right there.
Now, is Georgia a free economy there? Is it a capitalistic market?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean... a lot of things in Eastern Europe now, the market economy has really bounced back, and they're all into the almighty dollar to a certain degree. That's a totally different discussion. But basically, Mikhail Saakashvili is about 5 or 7 days ago, he moved troops back into South Ossetia, and for all intents and purposes, I guess he was the one who started it.
Why would he want to do something like that?
Well, I mean, the reason why they say that is because he's very pro-Western, and this issue with South Ossetia has been a problem for a number of years anyway, with Russia and with Georgia. And he knows that George W. Bush has been very, very supportive of his movement to join NATO, to be more of a part of the West. And I think, personally, it happened because he knows that George is about out. And so if he's going to do it, he's going to do it now rather than wait for whoever is going to be elected next time.
He's afraid Barack Hussein Obama is going to step in.
Maybe so.
And be like, Georgia.
No, that's the Georgian side of it. And then Russia just basically slapped them really, really hard. I mean, it seems like the amount of force the Russians are using in South Ossetia just way overcompensates for the issue.
That's the way they got to do it. There's a showing of power.
Oh, it is. I agree. In fact, like I was about to tell Chuck for the show, a couple of weeks ago, they had a good old-fashioned Red Square Soviet-style military parade in front of Dmitry Medvedev. And it basically, for all intents and purposes, they still use the Soviet battle plan, except they shrunk the army. So now it's more efficient, I guess, but it's just smaller. But it was totally like a parade. Went in there. So there's more millionaires in Russia than any other part of Europe. I don't know if anybody knows that. In Moscow,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because of the oil, the nickel, the cobalt, the coal, whatever the natural resource is. So Russia is on the rise, and this is totally a way of them saying, "Guess what, people? We're back, and this is what we're going to do." What else? I think the force was excessive. I think a lot of people feel the Russian force was excessive. Georgia's got a pretty good army, trained by the U.S., but for all intents and purposes, it wasn't necessary. You know what I mean? The Russians just look at it. If you look at a map and you see the country of Georgia, and then you see the country of Russia, and then you can just see, there was really no reason.
You can guess who wins.
Yeah, basically, exactly. And that's exactly what its logical conclusion is. Worst case scenario, Putin topples the government in Georgia. And who knows what's going to happen then?
What do you think old George W. is going to do?
Nothing. He's going to sit on his butt. I think. I really do. Unless it really gets really, really bad. And you know what? How many days does he have office, Chuck? You should know this, off the top of your
120.
This is not. Months. Yeah, this is not really even the time to try to even suggest a big military strategy. And in a way, it seems kind of smart on Putin's part too. Because maybe he's calling the bluff, saying like, "Oh, you only have but this much time left. I'm going to invade." And from my understanding, the West is not really going to do anything about it. And it's sad. And Georgia's claiming for ethnic cleansing, and Russia's claiming ethnic cleansing. You don't really know. You know what I'm saying? They're both telling lies about each other, and that's just basically how wars go. But I don't know. Either Georgia's government falls, there's some kind of peace accord, South Ossetia rejoins Russia, which would be really bad, I think, because then it would just be another stepping stone for the country to fall. Anyway, it's a bad situation. Strangely enough, in the Olympics, though,
Switch topics.
No, I'm not, because the Russian and the Georgian teams are very, supportive of each other. That kind of animosity you don't really see over there in the Olympics, at least in some of the sports anyway. And it's just a bad time. It's a bad situation. What are you doing over there, Scott? I think that's all I have to say about it.
I'm just
sorry I put you to sleep.
No, I was listening intently.
I think they're. Yeah, there's other things I could add, but I'm done with it right there. Georgia, look it up. It's got a cool flag. It's got a red cross with 4 little crowns on it and on a white background. It's nice looking flag. Tbilisi used to be a very corrupt regime anyway. A lot of the Russian gangsters have summer houses down there. I don't know if that's the case now, but it was pretty corrupt at one time.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm done.
Okay. I'm done. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I did look up and find out who the top 1% of wage earners are in the United States.
Lawyers, politicians?
No, not as a type. How much money does it take to qualify you as being within the top 1% of the United States? Nope.
It's more?
330-some thousand.
Oh, it's less.
Yeah,
really?
That was shocking to me.
That is surprising.
To be in the top 10%, I think you only had to make like $90-some thousand.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. I'm going to bring these stats in with me on Wednesday night.
Okay.
But it floored me, man. Yeah. $330-some thousand, and you're in the top 1% of wage earners in the United States.
What about the excessive?
Hopefully you don't have a self-proprietorship or something.
Yeah, no joke. You're getting punked. What's that, Trent?
Fool. What about the excessive use of bling?
Excessive use of
Will
bling.
that make you?
Speaking of excessive use of bling, this is a good segue. I heard about Isaac Hayes and also Bernie Mac.
One right after the other.
Well, Bernie Mac died, I think, Friday? Mm-hmm. And then at 50, Isaac Hayes died on Sunday at 65.
Yeah, very young. Very sad. I mean, I remember as a younger man. I mean, I probably could go on and sing that song, actually.
Shaft. Dick with all the go ahead.
With all the chicks.
Shaft.
Damn right. Anyway,
Who
we
is
could
a
go.
man? Thinking something for his brother,
risk his
man.
neck for his brother, man.
Shaft. Right on.
Dig it? I think it's Can You Dig It? He's a complicated man. No one understands him but his woman. Jump shot. Anyway,
It's sad that our tribute to Isaac Hayes is so crappy. we
don't
really,
think it's crappy
we really
at
mean
all.
no disrespect.
No,
we really
I'm
did
serious.
love the song
because I own that album.
Yeah, he does.
and I have for many years. And you know
we've
what?
been
I mean,
we've been big Shaft and Richard Roundtree fans. We even saw the crappy ones.
Yeah, well,
we
I
liked
think,
them.
some people may debate if they're all of them.
Yeah, well,
might be
true.
that way.
But I mean,
the
like
first
the
one's-
sequel.
First one's pretty good. Actually.
I didn't see the remake. Did you see the remake?
Oh, it wasn't worth it. I mean, you
wasn't.
know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like trying to remake something. It's
Star
like,
Wars.
It's like remaking Star Wars or remaking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Those movies were perfect when they were made.
It's like
anything
remaking
else is gonna,
It's like remaking Star Wars and casting Johnny Depp as Luke Skywalker.
Oh, that would be interesting. Really, that would be interesting.
It would be interesting. Actually.
But no, I love that movement.
George is
and-
on the phone right now. He just heard that. He's like, Johnny Depp.
That's a good idea. What a plan. No, but yeah, Isaac Hayes. Oh my gosh, I mean, what a pioneer.
And he was also the chef. Wonder how that
right. I mean,
Scientology's serving him now, huh?
He better had a lot of midi-chlorians or whatever.
was he a Scientologist?
Yeah, he left the show.
That's why he left South Park.
Did he really? Because of Scientology?
Forced him out, man.
No kidding.
At least that's the
really
rumor.
Crazy. I really didn't care for South Park at all. I really hate the show, honestly. But I love that music, and that Shaft album. In fact, when I still had a CD player in my car, I was listening to it. It's just a gret album. People ought to check it out. It's something different, but it's real sad. Both of those guys, and then Bernie Mac's show was an awesome hit.
He died of some kind of pneumonia, sarcoidosis. Yeah,
well, I'm not sure what sarcoidosis is.
It's some kind of autoimmune disease of the lungs.
To rock.
Your lungs turn to what?
Rock.
Like rock and roll.
They're like you can't
Like
breathe.
granite.
Oh my gosh, that was a really dumb joke, and I'm sorry about that. But
But, I mean, Bernie Mac, that was a big, Isaac
I was
Hayes, he's a little
shocked.
older.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
but-
still a shocker, but you're like, hey, man, I got 65. I know it's not old in America anymore, but still, it was just, compared to 50.
yeah, we lost a. It's a bad weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, and any number of reasons, it's a bad
It
weekend.
usually happens in threes, so I wonder
Who's the third?
who's the third.
Yeah.
As long as it ain't Jay Scott, we're cool.
Don't worry,
Yeah, I reckon so.
the show will go on.
The show will go on.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
it does, guys. If something were
We
to
have
happen to me,
your clone brewing in a Gola flesh vat.
If
downstairs
something
somewhere.
were to happen to me, I would want y'all to continue and carry on. Well, you got to give it at least a month or so. You don't just start up the next.
Well,
week.
there we are again.
Scott died over the weekend. Yeah, we're sorry.
we would just play audio loops of you talking. Things like, so Scott, what do you think? And then you would go ahead. Let's try you now. Just to have him on
Islamo-fascist,
right.
commie, non-capitalist, socialist.
What was it George Carlin said? You got 6 weeks in there on the house and the address book before I delete you?
That was funny. If we can find that clip, we'll play it later in the show.
Oh, I'm sorry,
We'll play it
George
after
Carlin.
the break. Yeah,
maybe that's the third one, D.
Maybe that was the third.
that could
maybe
be,
it was,
It
you
could have
know?
been the first out of the three.
Right.
But no, we'll play that clip later. It is funny. We can play that later in the show if you don't mind, Trent.
Oh, that's fine.
It is a funny clip. You'll enjoy
I
it.
haven't heard it, but I was going to say something else about the Olympics or whatever, just a political thing. Has anybody heard about this East Turkestan Liberation Front by any chance?
No, I haven't.
No? Okay. It's a Uyghur group over there in Sinking, which is in the desert regions, and just not too long ago, they made an attack on the Chinese military.
What?
Oh, yeah, they got a truck and that, from what I understand,
I did hear something about this.
They ran
Okay.
over some soldiers, and then they jumped out of the truck and threw homemade bombs into the wounded soldiers, just to finish them off.
That's crazy.
I thought, like, my gosh, that's just savage.
Let's declare war with China.
Yeah, the Uyghur population. And by the way, it's spelled Uighar, Uyghur. But anyway, it's a Central Asian population, and the Han Chinese have been moving in on their turf, and for centuries they've been, the predominant power. They ran the Silk Road. They transport. They were on that route, and all of a sudden the Chinese come in and they call themselves the East Turkestan Liberation Front or something like that, which would spell the word Etlf. That's not very good.
That's very close to what. Yeah.
Anyway,
It's Etlef, or I think you got it right.
maybe so.
ETL.
But anyway, I thought that was really crazy. I've always said, I
think they should take the T out and just be elf.
That would be great.
Homegrown eco-terrorists here in California.
What, they're elf?
Yeah.
Well, that didn't surprise me.
I did not know that.
But yeah, this whole East Turkestan Liberation Front. Then you have Tibet. I mean, China. Okay, I love that opening ceremony. I might have been. Did you see it?
Yeah,
It was
nuts.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh,
I missed it.
Most people.
It's probably on YouTube. I'll have to check it out.
Most people generally assume, I don't know, they aren't too crazy about the Olympics. It's just popular. I mean, maybe globally. I don't know locally or anything if people really dig them or not. But my gosh, that opening ceremony was probably one of the most awesome things I've ever seen on TV, period. I mean, it flat out was. And you know what's crazy? It's like
I remember the Atlanta games in '96. I was drinking a beer at the bar in the Atlanta 1996
cup. Yeah. Glass. Yeah, you still...
Was it '96?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I remember sitting there at the bar watching that. And then I remember the Winter Olympics, with this ice skating and all that, the following, I think, 98.
Yeah, that was
I don't remember
Japan,
00. What happened in 00?
It was in
Australia, Sydney.
Australia? I don't know.
City.
20-hour delay.
I remember the Greece one. When was that? Was that 2 years ago?
2004.
Okay.
Was Greece.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What was 04?
I just said Greece.
Oh, what was 02?
Barcelona.
Utah. Oh, that's right. Salt Lake City.
What was Japan?
98 maybe?
Oh, yeah. I think Japan might have been 98. What was 2006 Winter Olympics? Where were they held? I mean, that was just 2 years ago, guys. Come on.
Was that Greece?
Yeah, one of them was Greece we're talking about.
That was 2000.
Barcelona. Maybe.
That was Barcelona.
For the Winter Olympics?
I think so.
When are they going to have them back
That's
in the
weird.
good old US of A again?
I don't know. That's weird.
2012 is London.
London, yeah, because that Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
Everybody,
I got you.
2012. And, the people in Britain are basically looking at this going like, nah, we're not going to try to top that. We're conservative, stoic British people. Ours is going to be pomp and circumstance. And
Has it ever been in
prissy.
Paris?
Yeah, it's basically the Olympics have pretty much covered the gambit of the West European capitals. And it was in Moscow in 2000. 1980. LA was 84.
Has it been in New York City?
No.
You know what a cluster nightmare that would be?
Yeah, that's probably a dumb idea.
I mean, it would be awful.
There's just not the room for it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll just put it there.
New York City, year 3000.
I mean, seriously, that'd be crazy.
And actually, China, Beijing, Japan, and Australia, that's the only three places in the Eastern Hemisphere any of the Olympics have been held, from my understanding. There's Singapore, but that's just a little island. I don't think they can do it. They're rich enough and powerful enough to do it, but I don't think they're going to. And then that's basically it. You know what I mean? South Korea. Wait a minute, Korea was in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Korea was Seoul, wasn't it? Seoul, Korea? That was 1 year.
Maybe that's where the Winter Olympics was.
I think you're right. Winter? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Seoul, Korea.
Okay, well, that's 4. Well, that's not too bad. But, I mean, basically, most of the Olympics have been in Western Europe. And I saw this thing on jaywalking the other night. Oh, it was hilarious, and it was so stupid because Jay Leno asked this guy, the 1944 Olympics were canceled because of what? Riots.
Oh, the 44?
1944 Olympics were canceled.
Oh.
Yeah, and that guy said, riots.
Oh, I thought you were saying riots.
No, I mean, that's what the guy said.
Okay.
And he sat there for like a long
thought
time.
about it.
To 1944. I mean, it was crazy. Oh, I don't know. We can go on and on and talk about Olympics. I go for you wrote for the U.S., obviously, Scott. Of
course I do.
And everything.
It's capitalism. It's
Yeah.
God and America and apple pie.
Yeah,
That's
root.
right.
I root for the little guys who topple the juggernauts. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, that's cool. The
Like
David
Zimbabwe.
Goliath thing.
Zimbabwe won a medal with Christy Coventry in swimming, and I thought that was awesome. Because how many medals has Zimbabwe really won?
What do they do with the medals if you get them in Zimbabwe?
Probably
they
nothing.
take them.
Robert Mugabe takes them and puts them. Robert Mugabe takes them and puts them in his chest of drawers.
Seriously, like no,
probably.
that is not your medal. That is mine. It is our country.
You know what? I mean, not surprisingly,
I'll hang on to that for you.
I'll just hold on to that. Yeah. My next election, I will wear it.
Well, when I was in law school, my torts professor the first year, she actually won an Olympic medal in swimming.
No kidding.
And she had her picture up and everything, for her Olympic picture and all the stuff, from the Olympic. It was cool.
Yeah. That's neat.
She was actually a medal winner. I can't remember. I think it might have been gold. I don't know. I'll have to look. But
the thing about it is, when you think about the number of sports that are in the Olympics, and even though there are just 3 medals per event or whatever,
sure,
I can't. Well, I'm just going to look over here then.
you don't have to look at me. I can hear you.
There's only three medals per competition, but when you think about the sheer volume of competitions that there are, the chances of you meeting an Olympic medalist of any kind
are very slim.
Yeah. I mean, even though it's a fairly large number when you think about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it would be kind of slim, depending on what country you are, too. I mean, here in the United States or Western Europe, it's probably a little bit easier than, let's say, the Central African Republic. They've never won anything, by the way. In anything.
Okay. Poor guys.
I know. I root for
just
people.
Just get beat down every year.
I do. I root for people like that. I think about 10 years ago there was a competitor in like the 400 swimming race, and maybe it was him, maybe it was that country, but he finished dead last. He finished so last that everybody had already been done at least 5 to 10 minutes after he finally won and finally finished the race. You know what I mean?
But he never swam in an Olympic-sized pool.
Yeah, he never swam in an Olympic-sized pool because his country couldn't afford one. You know what I'm saying?
So he was in the lakes and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
And he lost. He lost horribly, but at the end of that thing, it became a big media spectacle. But at least he finished.
He finished,
what I'm saying?
yeah. And there's something to be said for just being there and doing it. I mean,
exactly.
You're not gonna. If you're the best in your country at these things, it's not like they just take whoever.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be the best or whatever. From what
you're representing your country.
Yeah, and this guy finished, and it was sort of a matter of pride that he actually did it. But he was from some very impoverished third world West African country. And
I'm honestly surprised that the Americans have still got some athletes around here and aren't just send a bunch of fat guys over there. Hey man, I can do it. Give me that double cheeseburger there, baby. Yeah, looks good.
We got Olympic sport eating.
Yeah, that's right. We're gonna add this into the mix. Well, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're gonna play some George Carlin for you, and we're also going to we're gonna start taking your calls at 877-SCARE-U2. Then we've got our special guest coming on after the break, Jason Offutt. He's going to tell us what's new with him. You're listening to World of the Unexplained.
And we're back. The numbers are... I'm going to give the numbers too, Scott.
The number 2.
2 and 2. No, pretty.
1.
Number 2 numbers. The numbers are 1-877-722-7382. 1-877-SCARE-U2. Or locally, 336-996-159-6666. Mark of the Beast.
Alrighty. Iron Maiden for you.
Okay. Huh?
Little Iron Maiden for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Do we have anything else to say about the Olympics, Scott? Do you have anything else to add to the Olympics?
Archery looked like it would be fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what Olympic sport would you like to?
Would I like to compete in?
Yeah, if you could, if you're physically capable of doing it.
Okay, yeah,
and you had the capacity to do it,
And I was really good at it.
Yeah. What would you want to do? What would you be?
Taekwondo. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Or fencing.
Fencing.
Do the men fence, or is it just the women?
I don't know. They ought to have men fencing.
Okay, yeah, the fencing, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I think they should make oh gosh, what's it called? Kendo. I think they should make that a sport.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Olympic
they're
sport.
talking about how Chinese kung fu, or known as wushu.
That would be cool.
Kung fu is not the appropriate term, but wushu. is not an Olympic sport. Because judo became a sport when Japan hosted.
I did not realize that when Korea hosted.
Yeah, Taekwondo became a sport when Korea hosted. So why not?
Why not some kung fu?
Yeah.
Everybody wants kung fu
Oh
fighting.
You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think shot put would be fun. You know,
Shot
What
put.
about pole vaulting?
pole vaulting.
vaulting
Yeah,
would be
you know, because
awesome,
that would be to be able
I'd
to
like to see that.
go way up in the air and then you fly back down and land on that big puffy thing. You know, that would be kind of fun. I do not think hurdles would be fun at all. I think hurdles would scare the crap out of me. Honestly,
Yeah.
to jump over those things again and again and again, I'd have problems with it.
I think archery would be fun.
Yeah, or shooting.
Yeah.
Actually, I always liked that sport in the Winter Olympics where you skied for a while through the woods and then you shot at some targets and you kept on skiing. I don't know what it's called. Chuck, do
They
you know?
had one, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's called.
It's in the Winter Games.
I know that's what I'm saying.
it's like
That's what I said, but I don't remember what it's called.
the trifecta or something.
Yeah.
The Jamaican bobsled team.
What is that? What is that thing called? But I don't know. That'd be fun.
When I was in Jamaica, I saw the Jamaican bobsled team
Did you really?
bar or cafe or whatever it was. Yeah. Didn't go in it, but I saw it from the street.
Right. And you know, at least nowadays they don't do it like the old Greeks did. You know, which is naked and oiled up. Can you imagine that?
Can you imagine women's volleyball like that?
Oh my! Well, you know, that's basically. I hate to say it. I'm going to say it now. The only reason they added beach volleyball is because they wanted to see hot girls in bikinis.
Yeah, that's totally what
That
it
is
is.
completely it. Everybody knows this. It's not because of it's
not a real sport.
The danger of the sport. No, they wanted to see some. You know,
They wanted to see some hot action going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
They
right.
wanted to see the healthy jiggle, like they
Yep,
call it. You know what I mean?
They do, yeah.
And that is the only and they probably were doing it to try to get more men to watch the Olympics. You know, I'm serious. I mean, they got gymnastics, but I mean, you know, that's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Those are young girls, too, generally. Very young.
very young. But at least
So the
women's
pedophiles
volleyball-
are watching,
right?
right?
But women's volleyball, you know, I mean,
They're older women. They're more mature.
more mature,
They're
and
filled out.
and you don't feel so creepy, you know,
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean,
You don't feel so creepy.
I don't know.
So when you watch the gymnastics, Trent, you feel creepy.
I don't watch them. Actually, I
D, all right?
yeah, just that little moment there.
That's good. I hope those mics
creepy.
picked that up. That was great.
I wonder how many other people feel creepy watching the women's gymnastics though.
I know Chuck does.
Yeah, he's getting creepy. He's feeling creeped out right now.
That's why he's not
Am I
saying
freaking
anything.
you out, man? This is your freaky dream.
Put the pipe down.
No, David Bowie, what are you talking about? I'm sorry, that's my first reference to them in the show. But you know,
what?
Fly the Conchords.
Oh.
The David Bowie episode. Anyway.
Anyway, we're going to take a short break.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back after this.
Jason Offutt coming up. We'll see you.
And we're back on World of the Unexplained tonight with our good friend Jason Offutt, time traveler, author, college professor, and conservative. How's it going, Jason?
Yeah, you know, those last two things rarely go together.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and the strange thing was I was in the journalism profession for a number of years, and that is a bastion of liberalism, and I went from that to even a bigger one.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
University, yeah.
What's the deal, man? Everybody's being a cheerleader for Barack Hussein Obama. What's going on?
There are bumper stickers on almost every car that I see around the university, and it's summer and nobody's even here, so I can't even wait to see what's going to happen whenever people start rolling in September.
Liberalism is a mental disease.
Wasn't that a book by Michael Savage?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a great book, too. But, yeah, you know, I mean, I don't know. I was wondering how it all, like, panned out with you being in the whole college campus. Did you see a lot of Clinton stuff there at any time?
No, I didn't see a lot. There were a few people who were Hillary supporters. Of course, when I asked them why, they couldn't tell me. The same with Barack Obama. I asked them why they were Barack Obama supporters, and they couldn't.
Because we need change, Jason. We need change.
Change.
Right. There was a great article in The Onion. If you've ever read The Onion, this guy was writing a story about, I was in Chicago, and there was a guy demanding change. I didn't have any change. And I told him to get a job. If he wanted my change, he had to work for it.
Oh, me. Oh, like my friend Johnny Garman says, Barack Obama, you can keep the change.
Now, I don't remember who said this, but it was some conservative pundit was talking about John McCain's service, his war service, all the years he spent serving our country in politics. It went through his entire resume, and they said, And then Obama had a speech in 2002. That was it.
Wow. What happens?
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. It's just going to sadden me. So I'm afraid that America might vote for him.
I really don't know. I thought I knew what was going to happen, and right now I'm really, really confused because I've been listening to people, and I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Don't trust anyone over 30.
Don't trust anyone under 30. Always bad.
I can't.
Yeah. So anyway, so what's going on? What you got the Shadow People book?
Let's talk about that.
You just inked a deal on that, right?
Yeah, just inked a deal with Anomalist Books on my my next book on Shadow People. The book is called tentatively. We haven't got this completely hammered out yet, but it's tentatively called Darkness Walks.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. That's
I
got a
came
good
up
ring
with
to
that
it.
myself. That's why it's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well, we know you're a cool guy. You're gonna come up with cool titles.
Yeah.
And
Darkness Walks.
So when does Darkness Walks? When does that hit the shelves?
It should spring, summerish 2009.
Okay.
Which in the publishing world isn't that far away.
Well, that's awesome. So about this
That's
time
cool.
next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be out. It'll have been out by this time next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So we
excellent.
can talk about this again next year when the book's out.
And we will.
That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
We'll have seen what it was all about.
Give us some of your stories. Then we want to hear some of this. Let's pique the listeners' curiosity.
Well, the first thing, just like I handle all of my stories, I'm a journalist by training. I'm not like a lot of authors who write about paranormal topics because I don't know they've been abducted or they've been abducted by aliens or bikers or something.
Oh yeah, wait, we're gonna have to kick you off the show now. We only take abductees. No, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Which I don't hold anything against abductees. I'm not saying this stuff didn't happen because I'm completely wide open. But my viewpoint is from a journalist, and I just interview people and get their stories. And for Darkness Walks, I focused on the Shadow People phenomenon. And for those of your listeners who aren't familiar, they probably all are. Shadow People are blacker than night, human-shaped, often two-dimensional figures that appear in your room at night or in a hallway or sometimes outside, occasionally in the daytime, which is extremely creepy.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they kind of ignore you, and you watch them as they walk, usually purposely somewhere. They look like they're walking someplace for a purpose. Sometimes they stop and see you, which is pretty unnerving. Some cases, people have been spoken to by these shadow entities.
What do they sound like?
They've been attacked. They go from either a mental telepathy type thing to hissing, snake-like, or
nice.
just a normal voice. There are. I found when I delved into this topic, there are for every time I thought that I had a type of shadow person nailed down, I got 10 or 20 more reports of the same thing, just a little bit different. So there's not really one explanation for these entities. I got really interested in these back when I was a kid because I remember waking up, or sometimes I hadn't even gone to sleep yet, and I'd see people walking around my room. They were black people, black shapes, shadows.
I was going to stop you there for a minute. There's black people walking around in my bedroom. What's going on?
My bedroom, yeah. These shadow people walking around, and they were like 7 feet tall, walking through my room and out into the hallway. And I'd scream for my dad because there were people in my room, and he'd run in, turn on the light, nothing would be there.
I'll tell you, go back to sleep, kid.
Yeah, basically. And then my parents wondered why I went to bed till I was 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little TMI there, Jason.
Okay, I'm not 9 anymore. That problem under control.
So Dee brought up a pretty good point, though, Jason. We talk about shadow people. What about the notion of shadow animals? In the form of dogs or wolves or
I've
about those?
Entire chapter on that. Most of the ones that I got reports on were cats.
Cats, huh?
A lot of shadow cats. I've gotten everything from cats, however, to mice, dogs, and strangely enough, gorillas.
Gorillas. Huh.
I interviewed a woman who, when she was about 9 or 10 years old, would see a parade of gorillas, shadow people type entities, walking through her room at night, knuckle walking like gorillas would.
Those darn shadow gorillas. Oh my gosh,
that is wild.
Now, when did you stop seeing these?
I was maybe 10, 11 years old, and I just stopped.
Why do you think that was?
There's a lot of speculation on that. Children tend to see things, the paranormal, a lot more than adults do. People consider it either, well, their imagination's toned down. They were making things up when they were kids, or maybe that the children are actually more open to the paranormal and are finally beaten down by society by the time they're 11 or 12 years old. Then they just don't see it anymore. Because you don't see ghosts, you don't see shadow people, you don't see UFOs. I mean, that's pretty much what's beaten into your head. That imaginary person you talked to when you were 7 is not real. Well,
it's not exist.
Uncle Jim, who knows?
Right.
Hey, he sits beside me and does a radio show. I'm sorry.
What you're talking about?
I didn't mean to give away your secret there, Trey.
Oh my gosh,
he's my imaginary friend.
Yes, but consequently, Scott is my imaginary friend.
Isn't that weird how that works?
Yeah, if we cease to believe in each other,
then neither one of us will exist.
We'll cease to exist. It's sort of like I don't know.
It's all good.
Well, I don't know what I was going to say. Well, how?
This is bringing flashbacks of philosophy class from college. I don't smoke that anymore.
Oh, come on. Put the pipe down, Chuck, or pass it over here. One of the two.
One or the other, but make a choice.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, how true did you find that with your interviews that people who saw shadow people would cease to see them as they grew up? I mean, how many adults claim to have still seen shadow people?
Actually, most of the book's full of adults seeing shadow people.
Really?
One chapter designated just to people who saw shadow people as a kid, but most of the cases that I found were adults, and it scared them more as adults than I imagine it ever would have as kids.
Sure.
Well, certainly.
Can't call for daddy anymore. Ain't gonna help. What's now? You've got the shadow people phenomenon, the kids. What do you think about all that with the new show they've got out, Paranormal Kids or whatever it is? Have you seen that?
Paranormal Kids?
No, I sure haven't seen that.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I haven't even heard of it.
He's been hyping it.
Sean Hannity's been hyping it? Yeah, he has. Yeah, that's right. It's on some cable access show. It's or not access, cable channel, one of the A&E or one of them.
Oh, are you talking about Paranormal State?
No. This is actual kids that are saying they've got these.
Psy kids.
Yeah, Psy kids or something.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
It's pretty stupid looking. Yeah.
That's almost as dumb as scare tactics on sci-fi.
So yeah.
I don't know. What are they doing? Are they taking the kids and throwing them without flashlights into the Waverly Sanitarium?
No, I don't know.
Great. That's great TV.
I don't know. I just know that they interview the kids and like, oh yes, I feel this presence here, and I'm like, oh, you're so full of crap. It's just kids going, oh, I see dead people.
You know what it comes down to? I mean, kids are so impressionable too. It's sort of like if you start anything, even if it's totally bogus, the kids will go like, oh, I see it too. Yeah, me too. Unfortunately. I don't know, maybe adults do that too, but
but there was
especially
kids. There was a really big series of. I don't know how many years this was, but I think I remember Roseanne was actually involved with this also. A time when psychologists were interviewing people and adults and kids about sexual trauma when they were younger.
Okay.
There were so many people who were like, "Of course I act like this because my psychologist said I had sexual trauma when I was younger." Mm-hmm. Okay, it's the same type of thing. Yeah, are kids just really impressionable? Are we pushing these beliefs off on them? Yeah, in a lot of cases, probably so. But there got to be a lot of kids out there who genuinely think they saw something. When I was about 8 years old, I walked into the hallway of my house. It was a Saturday afternoon. It was well lit, and I saw about a 6-year-old boy standing in front of me, and I can still see him to this day. He had brown hair, flannel shirt, blue jeans, and I could see the bookshelf through him.
A flannel shirt, and it wasn't even the 90s. Imagine.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It was back in the old days when flannel.
No grungy with him, no.
No, you know, Chuck had a similar experience, didn't you?
Of what?
Seeing a kid run through, like, your grandma's house or something?
No. It was when I was a kid, but it was a friend's mother, my mom's friend's mother.
Was your mom's friend's mother had been in the house? And...
Yeah, I saw her apparently after she had...
Oh, you saw her after she died?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, creepy.
That is a little bit
Maybe that was D. I was thinking D. Yeah, it was D. I'm sorry.
Yeah, D seemed...
D saw the little kid in his house like that when he was a kid.
Well,
It was a lady.
The point is, even though I was a kid and I saw that, I know I saw it.
Yeah.
It was what
Nobody
D?
put that impression in my head. That is the time that I decided to start looking into all the whole paranormal thing. I really wasn't that interested up to that point, up to when I saw the ghost and then started seeing shadow people. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, some kids probably are talked into believing or can talk themselves into believing.
Well, think about it.
Experiencing
Well,
a lot of art.
the other thing I was going to say about that, you know, sometimes, it's just a simple faculty that children do not have. You know, as adults, you have this ability of logic and reason where you can sort of rationalize things out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And maybe, possibly another explanation is a kid sees something weird, maybe not something as so obvious as what you're talking about, but they see something. And, you know, they don't have that mental faculty to be able to string the rational thoughts together to prove, oh, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, right.
And
yeah,
so-
I take college kids out on ghost hunts, and they'll get really, really excited because they'll take pictures and there's orbs in them. Don't get me started on orbs. I'm sorry I brought it up. But I'm like, okay,
I am too. Go
see
ahead.
all these orbs? Hey, there's a gravel road right over there.
Yeah.
20 yards away. That's what it is. You know, the noise you hear, probably crickets.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally, I agree with you. Yeah, the older you get, the more you can logically put a lot of these, you know, so-called paranormal things into place, that they're really, you know, from the natural world, and kids probably don't. So, there's a lot of misidentification. I'll agree with that.
Now you what all you so you've I'm just tongue tied. So basically, you've tried to you tried early on to categorize all these different types of shadow people, but you found that was something that you couldn't do.
Well, I did do it anyway. I kind of forced it.
Okay, like a real scientist, Jason Offutt's there.
Well, with the explanation that, okay, here are the categories, but a lot of times Category A and Category C are going to be the same entity.
Sure.
Yeah, so I do explain that when you do see a shadow person who's wearing a hat, which is one of my favorites, he can also act like, you know, shadow people, you know, D.
Cool.
So there are a number of different categories, but there are way too many, and nobody's an expert. So
there's probably
can't say what they are.
How many other books have been written about these kind of entities?
As far as I could find out, there was like one.
I figured that. I mean, I would think I've never seen a book on it. You see stories, you see clippings, you see, you know, little things here and there about it, but I've never really looked and found a book. I've never looked for one, but I mean, obviously, I've never, you know, it's not something that would just pop in my mind. Hey, a book about shadow people, in particular.
Right, and I tried to, because like I said, there's only one, and it was written by somebody who purports to be psychic. So.
Oh, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've cornered the market, basically. That's awesome and capitalistic
right. Well,
of you.
I made sure when I did it, I interviewed physicists, I interviewed chemists, I interviewed psychologists, I interviewed all these people to try and explain. Basically, I laid out, okay, here are what people are seeing, here are what they're feeling, here's what's happening to them. Can you explain it given your scientific discipline?
Yeah.
And they do or don't. And I have got that all laid out in the book. And I also have interviewed American Indians and Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, all different religious sects about does your religion have these entities in it? And a great lot of them do have entities similar to shadow people in it. So that's one of the things that fascinates me. It's not just a current cultural thing. I mean, you've got religions that are thousands of years old with these similar characters in it.
Sure.
So there's got to be something to it.
I agree.
I think it's demons.
And in a lot of cases, and in a number of different religions, that's what they are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, darkness has a cultural connotation. Really, almost every culture I know of, darkness is usually associated with, negative energy or evil or what have you.
I think the Grimace character from McDonald's is evil.
I've been big on purple myself.
What's up? What is Grimace?
I have a
supposed to
theory
be?
about Grimace.
What
I
do you
really
think
do.
What is he?
Grimace is basically a sentient mass of all the grease and sludge from McDonald's for all the years, and it's sort of coalesced and it's developed its own intelligence. And then it happened in like 30 years ago anyway, and then we're like, oh my gosh, what is that horrible thing? And the Grimace, basically it's
spring to life.
Yeah, it just sprang to life spontaneously. So it's like its own original life form.
Well,
and
I
the purple
hate to shoot a
color.
hole in that, but if that's the case, how come Hamburglar has not eaten him?
That's
True. Well, he might have powers. You never know.
Or
In
maybe
addition to being sentient.
maybe Grimace is a combination of the different digestive leftovers from the
either
from
way.
the
Well,
meals.
that might be true too. It might be a culmination.
He's Ronald
things.
McDonald's excrement.
Wow.
Yeah, McDonald's scares me anyway. You've got this big glob named Grimace. Okay, that's foreboding enough right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
You've got a Hamburglar. All right, that's bad.
Well, he's
You've
human.
got a clown. You've all seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah. Oh, who hasn't?
You know who John Wayne Gacy is, all right? So, okay, so McDonald's has a problem.
Exactly. The clown thing, right. And, I don't know. The clowns have gotten a pretty bad rap over the years. And then the Joker, obviously. Another classic
my
example.
kids, when they're like, can we go to McDonald's? They don't know why I scream in the car.
Oh, my gosh.
But Jason, hang tight with us. We're going to take our last break of the night. You're listening to World of the Unexplained with Jason Offutt as our guest tonight. Feel free to give us a call. If you're alive and listening, 877-722-7382. And that's 877-SCARE-YOU-TOO. If you're listening to the podcast, shame, shame, shame on you. You should listen live. We'll be back in a second. And I'm back.
The fog is lifted. The earth is shifted. Praise the gifted.
I'd be back. Because something I would. I totally screwed that up.
That's all right, man.
I haven't listened to any Kid Rock in a while. I'm starting to feel
I stopped
old.
listening to him when we went
Probably
country.
better for you.
Well, yeah, it probably is, but that's some good stuff. Some of that. The fog is lifted, and I don't even like rap music.
I remember that time he was on that MTV karaoke show or whatever.
Oh yeah, and he was like, "No, you suck."
It's like they're going like, "You're doing pretty good," and he's like, "Man," and he's sitting there without a shirt on and like two really hot girls on either side, and it was totally playing this image up. It's like, "Man, you suck, man. You're like the worst singer ever." He just went on like a 5-minute tirade, and I thought, "Oh, that's
awesome." Yeah, finally, someone gets to give him the what for. So, Jason, I want to hear about this time travel stuff.
Let's hear it.
All right, yeah. There's a guy named Steve Gibbs who is from Nebraska, and he now lives in Kansas. But he has a time machine that he's been selling online.
Is this the guy we've been talking about?
Yeah, we talked about this guy before, but he got the time machine schematics from himself from the future.
Yeah, that's right. This is the guy.
Yeah,
the same time machine that's in the movie Napoleon Dynamite.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. This
One
is
of the greatest parts of working at a university is they have all sorts of grant money available if you want to do, if you want to do experiments. I mean, journalism. I don't really do experiments.
Don't tell me they gave you a grant for this thing.
Well, I've got a couple of friends in the physics department, and we filled out a grant proposal, and the university is buying us this guy's time machine.
Oh my gosh!
God, that is great.
No.
Oh, this is
Anybody
awesome.
listening in Missouri, this is your tax dollars
At
well
work.
spent.
There's so much grifting in academia anyway.
Oh man, that is so awesome.
But that's cool.
Well, wait,
you're
wait.
using it for a good purpose this time.
How much is this time machine?
It's a little over $300.
Over $300.
Yeah. The thing about this sounds worse than it is, but every university has X number of dollars to give for grants for research, and at the end of the school year, they're just trying to find some place to give it. If not, it goes back into the central budget, and so It's not like we stole the money.
Hey, this might be a new con I can work out here.
Time machine.
No. Just a money issue. I may be able to do some kind of. I can sign up part time for some class and get some grant money or something
to do something.
I'm offering a class in fall 2009 called Paranormal Journalism.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a reporting class, but the stories that the students are going to research and write about are going to be about haunted houses. They're going to be about UFOs, Bigfoot, and they're going to be about this time machine. This is going to be a something I'm going to use in class, as well as the physics professors. They're going to use this in class too, so we'll be used.
No, at least maybe one time until it actually works.
I wish I had a professor as cool as you.
Yeah.
Well, then, because at the end of the semester, I would tell you about how I went back in time, changed my grades, and then got the A.
Right, yeah, exactly. I'm already preparing for that because I know a couple students are going to take my classes. I'm going to be really curious if they do pass.
Yeah.
We'll be the time machine.
I used the time machine, Professor.
So you did.
They might get extra credit for that. I don't know. I haven't thought it out yet.
Do you have a doctorate degree?
No, not yet. I'm trying to pay off my master's.
Okay, I was going to say if you did, you could be like the doctor on Doctor Who,
Oh, yeah, well, the time machine.
Get your time machine, they could just call you the doctor.
Right.
Well, one of my main goals in life is to make sure I accumulate as many titles as I can. So I will get a doctorate at some point. I will go online and become a reverend.
I've done that.
Yeah, you've done that. Universal. What's that church, Scott? What's it called?
The Universal Life Church. Jason, it's easy. It takes all of 2 minutes online. You should do it. You could do it tonight.
I will have to do that because I've already been elected mayor of my hometown 8 years ago. So I would love to be the Dr. Mayor Reverend Offutt. And once you get a title, you're that for life. I'll be the Dr. Mayor Reverend Offutt for life.
But is it
Grand Admiral?
Is it really?
Maybe that's a good
is
one.
It really Dr. Reverend Mayor, or would it be Reverend Doctor? I don't know how the peerage works.
Reverend Doctor sounds better.
Well, you should probably know this. You know how you would say the Honorable so and so. So there certain ones have more moxie and come before other.
They figure that out. They write it on a dice and throw the dice, and whatever comes up first is what they use first.
No.
I didn't. No, I thought there was an actual
order
stylistic.
sequence.
Yeah, stylistic.
There probably is, but one of my big problems with titles is if somebody demands to go by their title, I don't really want to talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk to me anymore after I'm the Grand Master of Paranormal Talk Radio. I'm kidding.
The Arch Patriarch.
Yeah.
Probably
would be that.
Grand Master.
Well, I like Grand Master though. It's so cool.
I like I said, I like Patriarch or Metropolitan.
Or Pope.
Well, Pope is that's a loaded term. But
the Pope of the Paranormal, Trent Lackey.
That has a better role than the Patriarch.
Good evening, Father Trent.
Indeed.
Indeed it is.
Indeed it is.
Okay,
Lord Marshall
you don't have
Smith.
Kids, if you're the Patriarch, you have to father things, so get busy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. My own species of clone creature, Jason. That's what it'll be. I'll create my own race. That'll be it. And I'll be the patriarch. Yes.
So anyway, let's
live
go back
on
to this
island and
I want to hear about live on an island. I want to hear about this time machine. So you're going to actually buy it?
Yeah, we're gonna actually buy it. I've got it on order right now. So when it comes in, one of the first things that we're going to do is plug it in and try it out.
Didn't they run on quartz crystals or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey man, go back in the time. Find me when I'm in college at Guilford as an English major. Tell me the story and tell me I really need to go to med school instead.
No, I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to find myself at 21. I'm going to go up to myself, slap myself in the back of the head, and say, "Okay, don't do this stuff. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Stupid."
Wouldn't that create a paradox? You touched yourself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you might
see yourself.
be running into your own timeline.
But you can come and see me.
True.
I could do that.
True, you could do that.
and come and see me at Guilford College and give me some kind of I don't know, something that some kind of rock or coin or something that. So it has to be something unique enough to where it couldn't have just happened. I don't know. Give me a page. Here we go. Give me a page from your book, Haunted Missouri. and then write the date that you're going to be on the show in the future, seal it up, and tell me not to open it until whatever year and whatever day.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I'm way too much of a smartass for that. I'm going to screw with you. Yeah, it'll be 2008. You're going to be a raging liberal. You're going to be donating money to Greenpeace just because I screwed with you.
Yeah,
it's probably true. Yeah,
I'll share that off it.
I'll be on the.
I'll show him.
I'll be on the Barack Obama for president campaign.
Yeah.
You'll have my picture in your wallet saying, "This is my mentor."
You should definitely, if you do that, make sure you get the drama right. You know what I'm saying? Buy some dry ice and wear a sequin shiny cloak or something. We'll get some space-aged outfit.
I am from outer space.
No,
Jay.
I am from the future. And then some kind of voice box.
Those little paper things you get at 4th of July, you throw on the ground and they pop.
Oh, yeah.
That'll
that'd
completely
be fine.
blow his mind, yeah.
That's all right, but just make sure you have a little drama. You're coming from the future, man. You gotta.
Let's see. Well, what
jazz it up.
What did we not have in 2000 that we have now?
iPods.
There we go. Bring an iPod.
But that's like the whole Back to the Future thing when Marty screwed with his dad by putting the Walkman on.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
I didn't think about that.
Man, time travel's so weird like that.
Yeah, I'll have a tab. Well, what do you want? A tab. Look, you can have a tab. You've got to order something first. Who's the president? Ronald Reagan. He's an actor. No, but I mean, yeah, it would be. I've got to hear. When is this thing supposed to come?
Which thing?
The time
machine.
The time machine is supposed to come sometime this fall, September, October.
Okay, well, you've got to call me. You've got my cell phone number, man. You've got to call me when you get this.
Oh yeah, no problem. I tell you what, I've been in contact with a couple of people who bought the thing. One guy sent me a huge email today, and I really haven't gotten through it, but it's about his time travel experiences.
Oh, you are kidding me.
Seriously, I have not read it yet, so I can't comment on it.
Oh.
Looking forward to it. Another guy I ran into, I spoke at a conference called the Mysteries of the Universe Conference back in June in Kansas City. It was mainly a UFO conference, but I spoke about ghosts and time travel and things like that. And this guy comes up to me and talks to me about this machine. It's called the HDR unit, and he bought one, and he's filling me in every time he uses it.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it hasn't worked yet, but it's done some kind of weird things to him, so
I bet.
Yeah, I bet so.
Well, no, here's what I want to know. I mean, they need to take all these machines and all the experiments that they're doing, and, I would like to see what the psychology department thinks of all this.
Yeah, I have not run the time travel thing by them yet. I've just run it by the physics department, and they've gotten a big chuckle out of it.
Tell them we're going to go back and make psychology a non-science like it's supposed to be.
And we're going to get rid of philosophy as a major in college.
Yeah, we're going to change we're going to make parapsychology a real
yeah, that's
real
what
science.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back and convince Sigmund Freud to have put on his tombstone, "Just screwing with you."
It was BS.
Oh my gosh! But no,
bling.
I mean,
Throw the word bling in there.
I don't know. I can't wait until you get this thing. I cannot believe you have people emailing you telling you about their time travel.
That's beyond crazy.
Tell them they need to get one of those. What was the thing the guy stole? The big thing from the power company?
Oh, the Transformers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Transformers.
Tell them they need a couple of those, otherwise it won't work right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta try
You
different
need 48
crystals,
pounds
too.
of quartz and a transformer that'll deliver 72,000 volts.
Now hook this up to your body.
Well, the thing is, you've got to take this electromagnet and stick it in your crotch. Okay. I don't think many people are going to put 72,000 volts through that thing.
You'll definitely see God one way or the other.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. That's true. Very
That's
true,
one of the
Scott.
stipulations of this time machine. You have to be pure of heart. You've got to.
That's
got to
right.
Pray.
You can't. Now, how does this guy know when he's? Oh my God, Chuck! No.
There's a picture.
Oh my God! It's he pulls up a picture of Napoleon Dynamite hooked up to this time machine.
Is he gonna strap himself in?
You just, strap yourself in. Make sure you don't move around or anything.
I wish you guys listening could see this.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God,
probably
it's
like
so
an
funny.
AC to DC converter right there.
It looks like one.
That is so awful. I cannot believe that.
Hey,
But
I just want to make sure this is going to record, because if this thing works, I want you to go back and listen to you guys laughing at it.
Time travel.
You know what? I'll insert foot in mouth, and I'll apologize if it does, but I'm seriously doubting it. You know, you need to go back if it really does. Well, wait a minute. Aren't there some stipulations on this thing? Doesn't he say it won't go back to certain times or something like that?
It'll only go back a few hundred years. You can go back farther, but it's iffy whether you return or not. And you can't go past 2012. There's a roadblock.
So you couldn't go and see the crucifixion of Christ.
He said one of the guys. I haven't talked to him. He won't talk to me until he gets my check.
Oh, that's right.
And until that check clears, probably too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've talked to his biographer, who's told me a lot of this stuff, and somebody has gone back to the crucifixion of Christ, but going back that far is as they say dangerous. As they say, the guy who invented the thing and people have used it.
Yeah.
I wanted to explain they.
It's
very vague.
We understand. We understand. Yeah. But that's just, it's amazing. You have to take pictures of you with this thing and send them to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll put them on the site.
Hey, no problem. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to use it seriously because
you've got to.
Time travel's serious business.
There's no other way to use it, man.
You can't be playing around with this, man. I mean, this is,
Maybe
big.
the physics department will actually make it work.
He wants to know if the physics department could actually make it work.
Yeah, instead of quartz, they use vanadium 34 or something, and it actually.
No, the thing I've got to do is in my hometown. There's a guy who actually owns a DeLorean.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Put it. I have to use this.
Hook it up inside. Yes. Hook it up inside that and take pictures.
Yeah, we'd have to do that.
He owns a DeLorean. How cool is that? Or not?
I'm not sure if it works. We'll have to put it on a trailer. Hopefully the truck will go 88 miles an hour.
Right.
Don't lose the flux capacitor. Now, Jason, we've got about 4 minutes left, and I don't want to take away any time from you or the stuff that you're writing, although we always have just such a great time with you on the show. Tell me what else is coming out. You're working on a new book as well now.
Right, yeah. Just to reiterate, the book that I just got the contract for is called Darkness Walks. It's being published by Anomalist Books. Should be out late spring, early summer 2009. It's finished. It's just waiting for the publishing timeline. The book I'm working on now, I haven't really got a title for it yet, but it's about all the paranormal things I can find within a 100-mile radius of my house.
Oh, right.
That's right.
You were talking about that. Yeah, it's
right.
a cool
I've been
idea.
talking about that for like a year. I had to put it on hold because this Shadow People book kind of fell in my lap.
You know, I've been thinking about writing a book for, I'm not going to mention the name of the publishing company, but I think I could probably get a deal on it. I know a few of the authors that have written books for them, and I'm tossing the idea around in my head.
I thought you'd been working on one.
Yeah.
Well, I've been working on another one, but I kind of put it aside when I got really busy. So got about 3, 4, 5 chapters out. I don't even know.
If writing a book is something you've always wanted to do,
it is.
Do it.
Yeah, it'll be.
If you don't do it, you're going to regret it.
Well, I figure after the first one, the other ones just come a lot easier, right?
No.
You're supposed to be like, yes, this magical thing clicks over in your brain.
No,
you're like, oh, it's
book,
just another book.
Why, of course.
A book is a bully that whoops your ass.
Okay, I figured
every
that.
time, every book you try to write, it's another bully beating the crap out of you.
Well, in the editing too, I'm so strict on myself. I know the editing is going to cut half of what I've written already. On top of
you have to write half that.
Yeah,
much more.
just on top of everything you've done, you get your rough done, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, I'm fortunate. My wife is a copy editor, and she butchers the crap out of my stuff before I send it to the publisher.
And you're like, what? No. So now, what does the college think of your? I know we've got limited time here, but what is it? Give us your website and your blog real quick.
All right, my blog is very. It's a stupid length. It's from the-shadows.blogspot.com. I've got updated pretty much every week. I skip a week sometimes. All sorts of paranormal stories from throughout the world. A lot of them are centered in the Midwest because that's where I'm from. My other website is jasonoffutt.com, JASONOFFUTT.com.
Now, does that website have a link to your blog?
Yes, it does. It has also has a link to my book, Haunted Missouri. And that Jason Offutt, the Jason Offutt website is a humor-based website because I write humor also.
That's cool. No, but going back to before we wrap this up, which is we're really close. What does the college think of you offering these paranormal courses?
Well, you've got to present things a certain way.
But I mean, are you the cool professor? I mean, the kids are like, oh yeah, he's the cool guy, man. Let's take his class.
You have to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the cool professor. They have to take that class. Yeah, they want to take that class.
I bet. No, I would do it. I think everybody would be like, oh my gosh, you know.
Yeah, no, the way I presented it to the university, they're the ones I had to sell it to, was that it's basically another reporting class. It's another writing class, but the whole paranormal thing is just a twist to attract more students to it.
Sure, and it works.
Yeah, I'm sure it would,
absolutely.
Too. You'll definitely be successful with that, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
People want to take a class like that.
Especially because we go out on ghost hunts and all sorts of
Exactly. People will do that. So we're like backpacking. You know?
We have an axe murder house within an hour drive of the university.
Oh, yeah,
there's supposed to be at least 8 ghosts in the house. So,
yeah, didn't the guy like leave it in the style of the times when the murder actually happened? Didn't put electricity or something in it, or am I thinking something else?
No, you're thinking of the house. They didn't have electricity at the time, and they put electricity back in it, and nobody wanted to live in the house because of the ghosts. And they eventually ripped all of the newer amenities out of the house and just restored it as a tour house.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What?
The answer to your question was yes.
No. No, I know that. Dee was making some kind of hand gesture at me, and wasn't what you're thinking. Oh, you mean the time? Yeah, I know. We've got to go. Jason, it's been wonderful as always. JasonOffutt.com. I'm gonna track you down this weekend or something. Give you a call, man. It's been a long time since we chatted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure has. Yeah, it's
a lot of fun.
As always, I love being on the show. It's been fantastic. It's like I'm sitting down having a couple beers with you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way we always feel with you, man. We appreciate it.
That's cool.
All right, Jason. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a good night.
Best.
Bye.
And that was Jason Offutt. Once again, we always have such a good time with him.
See, it just works.
The camaraderie,
good
and
chemistry.
the chemistry.
Good
It's
chemistry.
good stuff.
You know what I mean?
And we hate ghost books, or we get so many of them.
Well, it's not like we hate them. We just
we got so sick of them, and
Yeah.
then we got him, and I'm like, oh god, it's another ghost book.
Ghost,
and then we got him on there, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, we're not even.
That we just keep bringing him back.
Yeah, it's a great guess, but we gotta go seriously.
I know. Anyway, this is put the music, man. Chuck,
man.
don't be all slack and looking at the flux capacitor diagrams here. Come on now. Anyway,
I don't even know what I'm doing, but it's running. There we go.
This is Jay Scott, your only JDDJ on the OmniSound Radio 1 network.
Oh, okay. And this is Trent Lackey coming to you from Kernersville, North Carolina. Long time no see, people. Small.
Sorry.
That's all.
No, go ahead, man. Say it.
Okay.
Say it.
Small town, we talk about big things. Chuck.
Yeah.